The topic would be the strategic role of artificial intelligence for CFO, leveraging opportunities and addressing challenges. For this session, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Mayank Holani, CFO at Indian Synthetic Rubber. Mr. Mayank is a Chief Financial Officer at Indian Synthetic Rubber Private Limited, a joint venture of Indian Oil Corporation and TSR Corporation. Prior to this, he was associated with Schneider Electric for 12 years, most recently as CFO of Schneider Electric Infrastructure Limited. He has also worked in past with companies like JK Tyres Limited, Jembal Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited. Everyone, can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Mayank? And now I would like to call upon stage Mr. Susheel Tanwar, CFO Asia at Kmart. Mr. Susheel Tanwar is a CFO at Kmart, and his role, he is responsible for risk indirect procurement and his primary responsible prior to Kmart. He worked for Airbnb, Networks Oracle and GE. He is a CPA, CWA and alumni of IIM Bangalore. Everyone, can we have a big round of applause for the wonderful set of speakers?
Hi,
All
sir.
right. Hello, sir. Moving ahead with the fireside chat, I have some questions for you. So the first question goes to Mr. Mayank. How has the strategic role of artificial intelligence evolved for CFO over the past few years? And what opportunity has presented for transforming financial operations?
Hi, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Joya. I think the role of AI for CFOs in particular and finance function in general has been evolving over the last few years and is very, very important. And if we look at opportunities in what it can help, so first is the data-driven decision making. Right? Instead of making data based on purely on intuition, we can base our decisions on data. Now, second thing I could think of is cost optimization. It can help us optimize cost. Improved forecasting. Right? Instead of just forecasting based on a limited information or based on your intuition or just the past trends, you can have a systematic data-driven forecasting. Then even you can automate your finance processes. Lot of processes which are manual or semi-manual, you can automate them. Then probably it can help us in compliance and regulatory reporting. It can also help in a big way in risk management and fraud detection. That's a big, based on trends and based on past data, past behavior, it can help us to detect fraud before an event happens. So that can be a big support. Also, it can help us in proactive customer engagement. I think because you can support your customers, you can engage with your customers based on their requirements, based on the past trends. Now, another thing, it could enhance finance security, right? Because a lot of cyber security or finance security issues can be taken care by this. It can also help in terms of getting real-time financial insights. Instead of somebody sitting after the month end and preparing reports and sharing, you can have a financial insights on a daily basis or hourly basis, whatever kind of business you are into and whatever your requirement is. So overall, I think this artificial intelligence can help us, not just CFOs, overall finance functions in a big way, and we can move away from our traditional role of mere number crunchers to providing more strategic direction to business, to work more towards the growth of business, and instead of just looking and running behind numbers. I think that's what I feel.
So before you ask me the question, I must tell you, in my opinion, I think AI can do everything other than navigating you in the Gurgaon traffic. That's one of the most challenging pieces which I always feel.
Thank you so much. So now my question goes to Mr. Susheel. As AI become more integrated into financial system, what steps can CFO take to ensure the security and integrity of financial data from potential cyber threats?
Yeah, very relevant question, Zoya, and thank you very much for asking it. Good afternoon, everybody. It's wonderful to be here and being part of this session. As a CFO, I think I am always equally concerned as much as you would be to ensure the integrity of the financial data. By the way, CFOs are not just concerned about the financial data, they are also concerned about the employee data, customer data, supplier data, you name it, and I'm sure they will be equally concerned at any point in time. You can imagine data is one of the most important asset for everybody these days. And if the data gets leaked to an unintended sources, you can imagine what kind of reputational risk it may expose the organization to. It can create a lot of issues which are beyond imagination to handle in a proactive manner. So handling the data is one of the most important thing. So in my view, so far as the solution is concerned, Zoya, I'll say there are two approaches. One is obviously the approach which I always call a proactive approach, and the other one is called reactive approach. And both are equally important, by the way, in my view. When I call a proactive approach, I'll probably look at when we are designing a particular system from the financials perspective, I would rather involve my risk experts. I will ensure when we are designing the systems, the cybersecurity team, the risk assessment team, all these people are involved so that we can end-to-end clearly assess what could be the potential risk and the mitigation efforts are taken right away before the system is even ready. So that's probably one of the key approach I will take. So once the systems are designed, once we have the right controls in place, I'll ensure that all the relevant users of the systems are properly trained. And it becomes a culture kind of thing in the organization where people know how to access those information in a responsible way so that people knows what to do and what not to do. So that's what I mean when I say proactive approach. Coming to the reactive, see, the world keeps changing. The world keeps evolving all the time. Whatever is the truth today will not be truth, say, 3 months down the line or 1 year down the line. Things keep changing, and that's the nature of the world. When things change, how do we ensure that what we defined and designed 2 years back is still relevant for us? And this is where the reactive approaches comes into picture. So we need to ensure that there are enough controls, that there are enough audit which are happening, and I'm so glad by the various either the gaps or the IFRS that we are getting in place, there are enough controls which we need to follow as the finance community, and a lot of all these reactive solutions automatically fall in place. So I think from my perspective, the solution lies in both proactive as well as reactive solutions, and as long as we can address them, I'll be very comfortable.
Thank you. Do we have next question from Mr. Mayank? What are some practical examples of how CFOs can leverage AI to improve financial forecasting accuracy and enhance overall decision-making process? Yeah, I'll repeat my question. So my question was, what are some practical examples of how CFOs can leverage AI to improve financial forecasting accuracy and enhance overall decision-making process?
We have to lead by we have to lead by example, and if we ourselves follow database decision making, it will encourage our teams to do that. Now we have to invest in technology, we have to invest in database analytic tools, we have to invest in training and education of our teams, so that those everybody may not be at the same level, so we have to bring people on the same level so that they can work on those tools. We have to also look at what skill gaps exist in the teams and how to bridge that. We need to look at guiding the teams and the organization on the value AI can create, right? So that people don't treat it as a enemy and treat it as a something which can help evolve the organization and the function. We also need to see what our teams or the teams know the value, and they are not afraid. We have to create a safe environment for the teams so that even if someone fails because it's a new thing, people will fail, right? So they should not be afraid. Okay, if I fail in doing something through AI, I will be losing my job. So, and we should be celebrating the successes of the data-driven decisions. So that will help the team, others also to get it. And I think the challenges which you can encounter is like one is obviously the cultural, the mindset, the acceptability of this new tools in the teams. There are cultural barriers. It will take time for people to adopt. Uh, then also you have issues with the data quality also that will be there initially because data quality and data accessibility is there. The security of financial systems or the cyber security also is something which can pose challenge. So there are lot of opportunities and then some challenges which we have to overcome to get there.
Thank you. Now I would like to ask one question to Mr. Susheel. In what ways can AI help CFOs identifying cost saving opportunities and optimize resource within the organization?
CFO loves this. Cost reductions, resource optimization, that's a part of our life. Probably CFOs drag it too much at times. My wife keeps saying that never marry a CFO. Anyways, that's on the lighter side. I think from the professional perspective, AI does two things which I really love, and both are both are really important things when it comes to any kind of decision making. What AI does is it gives us a lot of information. That is point number one. Point number two is it gives us that information at a very high speed. Imagine if you have to take a decision in 80s or 70s, first of all the information that an individual require for solving a problem is going to take much, much longer. That's one. And second thing is probably the information that you will need will not be correct. So I think AI solves both these kind of problems. In my role, especially where I take care of the entire Asia operations, and if I have to negotiate a particular contract, which is say going to be 6 months away, from a real estate perspective, for example, office lease, Shanghai, how much personally do I know about the real estate market of Shanghai? Not really much. So what I probably do is my system, my artificial intelligence system that we have set up will send me an alert 6 months before itself that, hey, your real estate property is going to be due 6 months down the line. So here is the alert. I'll ask my commercial finance team to start taking a look at that, start collecting all the information from the market perspective. What are the current market rates? Is the market going up or down? Where does the market is going to be in the next couple of years? So I get all this kind of information from the artificial intelligence, which is based on the market data. Once we get all this information, team process this information very quickly and get all the relevant points to take a decision. So this is just one example of how do we get the early information and drive the right information to take decision. That's just one example. The other example could be I'm sitting in Delhi office. My other team members are sitting in 6 different offices across Asia. How do I know who is doing what at what particular point in time? So can I see on a piece of paper or some in software that, hey, at what point in time where these people are being employed, so that we could figure out where are the peaks and valleys on their affairs. How can I utilize the peaks of one team to address the value of someone else and vice versa? So these are the various opportunities which could be addressed through the utilization of AI in an intelligent manner. So that's what I feel. That's how I utilize AI. That's how I try to solve the problems. And if utilized correctly, I'm sure each one of you can solve a number of problems if you're not doing already, which I'll be very surprised to know if you're not. But that's my perspective on this entire AI and taking decision on the cost optimization, resource optimization perspective.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to ask you, do we have any questions to ask to audience?
I think one question I have is as AI systems evolve, and they will become more and more important for finance function in future. What are the challenges which you think they may face to the CFOs, and how you think they can be overcome to enhance the value of AI for finance in future?
Anybody from audience would like to answer this question? Anyone from at the back? Yes, can we have a mic please over there?
Hello. So, as a CFO, I'm facing the problem in integrating different subsystems into one. We are a laboratory and we have a CRM where samples are registered. But for a finance GL to be integrated, trial balance to be integrated, we need the customer data to be flowing into another system. And people say that they have APIs and they claim tall promises about API. API will work because otherwise their own application will fail. That is also based upon APIs. So, but as a finance, I would say that we already have a table of customers. We already have a uh, like collection which is being booked in the accounting system, and there is a billing happening in the CRM system. Then the customer base has to be flowing into the accounting system with the comma, full stop, spaces, all of that, and the numbers and the mapping codes should also tally. If we do the change in the one system, it should automatically flow into the other system. Then in the other system, if we do any change, it should flow into this system. But what if, because CRM is being used by the many people in the organization, whereas the accounting system is used by some people, limited to the finance people. Then if we make the changes in the CRM system, if somebody makes the changes in the CRM system, he doesn't come from the finance background. If that changes something which impacts my accounting records, hence lowers down the trust amongst the investors, the numbers are already published for the revenue, for everything, and some gentleman who is not known or known according to the audit trail, we come across and then we bang our head, what to do about that? We have to put a lock in the accounting system that up to, if suppose there is any change 5 months back, somebody is doing in the CRM, it should be flowing as on first of the current month rather than that day. So all these challenges are there which are very difficult to solve unless CRM changes. But no CRM has come up which has got the accounting as well as CRM or supply chain capability. The companies who are there like Live Health or the Suflam, many people are there, but they are not able to, they don't think accountant wise because everything translates into accounting end of the day and financial reporting. The systems are so broken, they claim promises, but it is very so after 5 years we have to actually scrap it off, or after 1 year of implementing, wasting our time figuring out the financial specs, it will actually, so I need a solution from both of you. If am I thinking correctly or wrong, what should I do? Thank you.
I think your issue is very valid and it's quite complex and detailed problem, and it's a practical challenge because we have now multiplicity of tools, other overload of tools. There are so many tools and systems, but how to integrate everything together so that it has it gives the right value. That's the challenge we have.
Thank you so much. Mr. Susheel, do you have any question to ask to audience?
I do, certainly I do. And the reason I wanted to ask this question is clearly to learn something from you guys, to know your perspective on certain strategical areas. So my question is, how can a CFO ensure that the adoption of AI aligns with the organization's long-term strategic goals and contributes to the sustainable growth of the organization? So I'm very curious to know your perspective on this.
Anyone would like to answer this question? Can we have a mic over there, please?
I think what I feel that first of all, CFO should be clear what vision is there for the company for the long run. So that clarity I think will be further drilled down in terms of the support as a finance or as a CFO function we are providing. So we need to drill down the areas of improvement aligning with the AI, whether it is related to sales, whether it is related to controls, whether it is related to processes, whether it is related to marketing activities. So we need to drill down further in the different departments that we align our vision, taking AI into in our system to take our final vision. So I think that is the way to align our goals with the AI.
Thank you, sir. That's a very interesting point.
Thank you so much. Can we have a mic over there, please?
So as per my opinion, whatever we use, either AI or whatever the internal control and the responsibility should be very, very clear. The thing is, tomorrow there should not be having any blame game. That we are saying we as in finance was expecting this and system has given this. So ultimately you cannot get out from your responsibility as in CFO. So you have to own it. When we say we need to own it, the numbers we are owning it, and we should be having internal control in, very, very robust, so that tomorrow if something goes wrong, where we have gone wrong, what was the challenge, and how to overcome with that, that should be very clear. Okay. So we can take the benefit of technology, but same time we should know that where our responsibility lies.
Absolutely, we can't leave our responsibility for it. Yeah.
That is more important.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we have a mic over here, please?
Yeah, thank you. Well, actually, with respect to this matter, I would like to just mention that with respect to our organization, I mean, whether, AI implementation or usage of AI can be done, that can be done subject to a proper business plan. Now, first of all, for business plan, you need to have a clear-cut business strategy from the business development department, and who has to have a very clear-cut and with specific strategies and specific online or upcoming projects that they are planning to approach and all that with respect to tendering and all that, because I'm from a construction industry. Now, all these things has to be properly there, because AI cannot give all these things. So after you get all these specific data and details, then only if we can put it into the AI, maybe we can have a kind of futuristic approach through AI.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Would you like to say anything to conclude this topic, Mr. Mayank and Mr. Susheel?
Oh, nothing. I think we already running late.
All right. Thank you so much to our audience. Thank you so much, Mr. Susheel and Mr. Mayank. I would request you to please stand here for the group photograph. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this fireside chat? Thank you. Now I would like to call upon stage Mr. Manish Mehta to come on the stage and please felicitate our speakers for fireside chat. Requesting you to please felicitate Mr. Susheel Tanwar. Thank you. And now I would like to request you to please felicitate Mr. Mayank.